Hi, this is Mimi from Mimi's Paper Crafting. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I want to talk to you about journaling. As you can see, I have a bunch of journals here in front of me. We'll look at those in a little bit, but I want to talk about something because the other day I was watching a video, and in the video the woman, I don't remember who it was, honestly, and I've never watched this person before, so I don't know why I stopped on this video. But the woman was talking about how this was my first journal and it's so plain. And it got me, and she's like, it's so plain. Like, and basically comparing, I felt like comparing her first journal to other people's highly decorated journals. And it got me to thinking that when it comes to journaling, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Okay? So I went through and I took some notes. I have some notes on things that I wanted to say about journaling. So that's the first thing I want to say. There's no right or wrong way to journal. You journal how you want to journal. Do not compare yourself to other people's journaling, okay? But you can take inspiration from other people's journaling, but don't compare yourself. You are not going to journal. I don't journal like everybody journals. And my journaling's evolved over the years. But I don't journal the way everybody else journals. But when I watch a lot of journaling videos, and when I see people journaling, I love how they journal, but it's not my kind of journaling. But you can also take inspiration. If you like how somebody journals, say you like how I journal. You like how I make a journal, fill it out with my journaling, and then come through and add all of the photos and all that kind of stuff. If you like that style, then try it. Okay? But you don't have to do it exactly the way I do it. Say you don't want to add any photos, but you would rather add receipts and products and information and stuff that you got. Great. That's how you should journal. Journal the way you want to journal. Don't let somebody tell you there's a wrong way, because there's not. Also, you can do any kind of journaling. You can do just a writing journal. You can have a bullet journal that all you do is write every day. You can have a journal of just photos. Just photos, and this is I put a lot of photos in my journal. So you could have a journal of just photos. You can have a mix of both, like I have writing and I have photos. You can add in product packaging, receipts, that kind of stuff. You can just do art journaling. If that's the way you want to express how you're feeling, do art journaling. You can have just a commonplace book. And a commonplace book is a place, if you don't know, and I'll be making one soon on my channel, where you put in things that inspire you or mean something to you. It's just a place to gather things, book quotes, song lyrics, photos that you might find online that inspire you to do something or mean something to you. It's just a place to put things, everything. That's how I feel about it. Like, it's a place for me to put things that are not my feelings and things that happen that go in my daily journal. Does that make sense? You can do just a book journal. You can do a collage journal, a glue book. Anything you want to do for a journal is your journal. Don't let somebody come in and be like, that's not how you journal. No, it's how you journal. You journal the way you want to journal. Screw everybody else. Also, that's why I have all these here. You can use anything you want as a journal. So I have a bunch of different examples because I make all different kinds of journals. First, we have an altered book. So this is just a hardcover book that I got at probably the Dollar Tree, and I ripped out pages and glued pages and added in envelopes and that kind of stuff. Like, it's just an altered book. As you can see, I ripped out tons of pages. That's why there's so many gaps in here, and glued them together to make them stronger, and then just stamped and added paper and that kind of things to it. I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's your journal. your book. But as you could see, like I even have like little doors and windows, flip outs, and that kind of stuff. This is when I used to pre-decorate. I stopped using it though. It got thick and bulky, and I think I stopped because I started, I don't know why I stopped, but yeah. So here you go. This is an altered book, and there's millions of ways to alter a book, not just the way I said. Okay, you can alter a book in so many ways. But look, there's stamping and coloring. That's what I was looking for. Okay, and then I stamped and embossed the outside. Okay, so that's just one type of book. I'm going to put it on the floor to get it out of my way. You could also bullet journal, or even just use a regular journal, a bullet journal for regular journaling, just everyday journal. But yeah, this was my attempt at bullet journaling, and then look, and then it changed. Then I just started making it more journaling. See? More journaling than bullet journal. So that's a way you can journal. What else do I have? Oh, this is blank, but you can just use a line journal. Just a plain old line journal you can use, which is great if you're just going to do writing. And it's spiral, which is nice because you can flip it open and have a flat place to write. Okay? And then a composition book. This is from November 2020. And you alter it, so you change the cover, put stuff on the inside, and then you do what you normally do. And just journal. This was so weird because, like, it's just a weird to look back on last year's, well, 2022, now 2024. I gotta remember that. Today is New Year's Day. But yeah. So you just cover. So I covered. And I put pockets in case I had anything. And then I split mine into like weeks with tabs. So this is week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So that's what I did with these little tabs. But then that's all you do. You could do this to the paper. And I added, oh look, day 112 of a headache. I'm now at like day 500 and something of a headache. I can laugh about it. It's okay. You could use a binder. So here is a binder journal. Here I was still pre-decorating. So I would, what is stuck? I would go on and I would decorate my pages. And then I would journal on the pre-decorated pages. So I would sit down on camera and I would decorate pages for like a week. And that was my journaling videos. So there's that kind of, and there's also, let's see, do I have another one down here? I do. There's all different kinds of binders. So here's another kind of binder. Here's another kind of binder. So there's all kinds of binders that you can get. Okay, and speaking of books, you can also just use the cover of a book. Now this is a book from the Dollar Tree that I cut out the spine and used book rings. I made a journal that way with just book rings. So there's that one. Or you could make a junk journal. This was my September Build a Journal Challenge journal. So we did this. There's a whole series of it. I had people that joined me, and they made a journal. They did stuff to make the journal every single day of the month in September. But yeah, this one is just a junk journal. There's threads and all kinds of stuff on it, and it's made from a product box, and there's 2 signatures in it. It's a sewn signature journal. So that's all that this is. Let me tie this up. And then lastly, another kind of journal is a digital journal. You can gladly, easily do a digital journal also. I'm going to leave something there for you to look at. Okay, what else do I have? Don't worry about your handwriting. That is one thing I can tell you. Do not worry about your handwriting. When I try, my handwriting sucks. So if I try to write nice, it's just horrendous. So I stopped trying to write nice and just write the way I write. I'm not one of those people who can do that beautiful handwriting. Now, if you can, good for you. Like, that's amazing, because it's not me. I cannot do that. And if you're like me and cannot do that, who cares? It's your personal journal. It doesn't matter what your handwriting looks inside. But if you're that worried about it, type it up. Type up your journaling and glue it in. Plain and simple. I already said don't compare yourself to others, but you can use them for inspiration on how you want to journal. I will reiterate that a million times. If you like a plain journal, go with a plain journal. Go with just this here. And if you want to add photos and everything, journal, add your photos, and move on. It does not have to be this kind of journal. Okay, with all the tags and the tucks and the pockets. You could easily do this, or a bullet journal. And just journal, and you can still add photos. You can still add receipts and product boxes and stuff like that. You can still add that to a journal. It does not have to be highly decorated. If you're not a highly decorative person, look, let's be honest. Here we go. Here's this one. This is just a plain journal. Like, it's upside down. This is just a plain journal. It has bright pink paper and a plain cover. And I used ribbon to put the pages in. It's very much, it's pre-decorated, so it's just decorated with lids, but I'm just talking about even the cover. The cover is very plain. You don't have to go crazy and make a highly decorative journal if you don't want to. If that's not your style, that's not your style. Which then goes back to, don't compare yourself to other people. Don't say, well, Mimi, you made this beautifully decorated journal. Mine looks like this. And mine doesn't always look like this. You just saw. Mine doesn't always look like this. Mine doesn't always have the tags, the pockets, the belly bands, the tucks. Mine doesn't always have that. Mine, a lot of time, are plain paper that when I'm journaling, I will go through and I will journal, and then I will slap some photos on. That's just how it is. But if you like it highly decorated, then highly decorate it. Take your time. Spend the time to do it. It's up to you. You can journal every day, once a week. That's the great thing about journaling. You can journal when you want to. If you only want to journal once a week and have a recap of your week and bullet points, go for it. If you want to journal every day like I do, go for it. If you want to only write 1 sentence a day, write 1 sentence a day. If you want to write 2 paragraphs, write 2 paragraphs. If you want to write 4 pages, write 4 pages. If one day you want to write 4 pages, the next day you have a sentence, that's all you need. Journaling is about, for me, you tell me down below, what is journaling for you? Journaling for me is a way to talk about the little things that happened, or how I was feeling that day, things that made me happy that day, things I've read or watched, where I went. It's a capsule of my life in real time. If you want your journal to be all about your feelings, then journal all about your feelings. If you want your journal just to be about the special moments, then journal just about the special moments. If you want your journal to be about the everyday, journal about the everyday. It's your journal. Do what you want. If you want to pre-decorate like I used to, go for it. If you want to decorate as you go, then do that. If you want to journal every day and decorate once a week like I do, that's what works for me now. Okay, but I used to enjoy pre-decorating, and I might be doing that in February depending on how I feel. Okay, so do whatever you want. Also, if you want to use colored pens and markers and doodles and magazine clippings and die cuts, journaling cards and stamps, ink pads and ephemera, ribbons and trims and tags and lace, stencils and book pages, use whatever the hell you want in your journal. Whatever you want. If you want to make your journal of plain lined paper, use plain lined paper. If you want to use scrapbook paper, use scrapbook paper. If you want to use book pages, use them. If you want to use scrapbook paper and then gesso on the pages to give you a place to write, go for it. Just make sure it's dry before you close it. That's the only tip I'm going to give you. Also, you can bind journals any way you want. You've seen so many examples now from me. Book rings, 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Let's see what else we got. Spiral binding after using the cinch. You can do a twin loop with the cinch. This is a bought one, but you know what I mean. You can use a twin loop with the cinch. Okay, I hope you heard that. You can use a twin loop with the cinch. I'm trying to look. What else do I have? You can use a 5-hole stitch. You can use Coptic. You can use the binder. You can put in with elastic, staples, ribbon, like I did on this one. I did ribbon this way, but you could do ribbon this way. You could do elastic this way. You could sew in with a sewing machine if your sewing machine can handle it. You could glue it in. And you can use a thermal one and make a thermal journal, which, by the way, I think Makers is coming out with a thermal journal this year. Okay, so as I've said, you can write anything about anything you want. I already went over that, but you can do bullet points. You can do time, like at 9 a.m. I did this, at 11 a.m. I did this. You can do whatever you want in your journal. You can write as much or as little as you want, and you can keep more than one journal at a time. Okay? You can have your public, I make it on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube journal where you only write the superficial stuff, and then you can have your private, this is where I vent all my feelings about the people I hate journal. I don't have one of those, by the way. It's all in one journal, because whatever, you're going to read that I hate everybody, great. By the way, I hate everybody today. I mean, so what? But that's just me. If you want to be more private, you can have 2 journals. You can also have, as I said, 2024, I'm going to have a book journal, and I'm going to have a commonplace journal. And I'm going to have my monthly journal. So I'm going to have 3 journals. You do not have to share your journal. Okay? I share my journal on my channel because I would like to give you some inspiration. You can see then what I'm reading, what I'm doing, how I'm feeling. Maybe it makes you feel a little bit less alone when you're like, yeah, I freaking hate people today too. Maybe then it makes you feel less alone that I freaking hate people today. Who knows? So you can also use an entire year journal. This journal right here, if you're writing, could last you an entire year. You can use a new journal every month. I get bored, so I like to use a new journal every month. You can use a journal for 6 months, like a bullet journal, could last you 6 months. Also, you do not have to do a journal in date order. Okay? A lot of junk journalers don't. They go to a page that they find fits that day and that feeling for that day, and they journal out of order. I personally cannot do that. Okay, that's one thing I can't do is journal out of order. I can't do that. But you can if you want to. Seriously, if you want to journal out of order, go for it. Especially in a journal like this, a junk journal. Go ahead. You find that perfect page for whatever you want to talk about and you journal out of order. I get it. I understand it. I see people doing it. I can't do it for myself. But that's just how I am. You do whatever you want. So let's do a quick recap. I know I talked about a lot of stuff and I'm hoping it's helping, but there's no right or wrong way to journal. Okay, that is number one. Also, do not compare yourself to others, but use them for inspiration. Please use them for inspiration. I see so many beautiful journals on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, and I think, wow, those are gorgeous. They're not something I want to do, but I want to incorporate that maybe tiny little bit. Like maybe I want to start using different colored pens, or I want to start using stencils in my journal that I've never used before, or try my hand at doodling, which no, I can't draw. But you know what I mean? Like maybe I just want to start. There's just somebody that I see on Instagram, and I don't know who it is. And they draw a doodle for all of the little things that happen during their day. And it's amazing. They doodle it, they color it. It's amazing. And I love it. I wouldn't do it in my journal because I can't doodle. But for them, it's amazing. So, like I said, don't compare, but use inspiration. You can use anything you want for a journal, okay? So, junk journal, plain journal, bullet journal, composition book, digital journal. If you like more plain journal, go with plain. If you want it highly decorated, highly decorated. You can journal whenever you want. Use whatever you want in your journal. Don't let somebody tell you that you cannot use markers or stamps or stencils in your journal. Use whatever the hell you want. Like I kind of wish when I bullet journaled before that I had a better stamp collection like I have now, because I would have maybe stuck with bullet journaling longer if I would have used stamps to decorate everything. I mean, I like how I journal now, but you know what I mean? Like I didn't give bullet journaling this long, massive chance because I don't mean like the original way to bullet journal. I mean more of the more contemporary way to bullet journal. Do you know what I mean? Like bullet journaling used to be this thing where you had all these dots and all this stuff. That's not me. I want to still journal, which is probably why I went to a regular journal. Anyway, bind your journals any way you want. Don't let people tell you can't use rings for a journal or a binder for a journal. My aunt asked me to make a journal, which you'll be seeing coming up the start of it, and she wanted me to use a 3-ring like regular school binder. Here, I have it right next to me. Here, a regular 3-ring school binder is what she wanted me to use for her journal. And great. Good on her. Like it's going to be a large journal and it's going to last her the entire year. That's what she wants it for. She wants it for the entire year. And that's what she wants. And great. I'm happy to do it. And I can't wait to work on it because it's something I've never done, a binder that size. And I can't wait to work on it. So yeah, don't let anybody tell you you can't use that type of journal, because you can. Okay. Also, you can write about whatever you want. You can write as little or as much as you want. You can keep more than one journal. You don't have to share your journal. Your journal can be completely private, or you can share it across all social media. That's up to you. And you can use your journal for whatever time period you want. Like that 3-ring binder is going to be a year. This one was a month. This one could be 6 months. You can use it for whatever time period you want. And you do not have to journal an order date. There you go. I hope this helped you and made you feel like a little bit better about journaling for 2024. If you're interested in journaling for 2024, but you didn't want to because you were afraid that you didn't have much to say. Where's that journal? So this was 2022. And it was February. Look, I didn't migraine and sick all day today. The boyfriend brought dinner, so I didn't have to think about cooking. And all I want to do is sleep. Tomorrow's going to suck. After migraines, date, always do at least tea work, so all will be quiet. That's it. That's it. And back then, I didn't even put in pictures. I read of Mice and Men, listened to A is for Alibi, and read The Lost Man. Like, I didn't even put pictures of my books in at this time. This is how completely different I journaled in February of 2022, picked up towels from Kohl's. Like, I did 2 sentences. Okay? So don't be afraid to journal and write as little or as much, and don't be afraid to let your journaling style change. Okay? The journal is how you want it. I think that's my point. It's what you want in a journal. And as you've seen, I've journaled so many different ways. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. Let me know down below if this video helped you out or made you feel better about your journaling experience. Because like I said, when I watched that video, I felt like that woman was like, oh, it was so, my journal was so plain. And I'm like, but it's a beautiful journal. It was a beautiful journal. And you used it and you wrote in it, and now you pull it off your shelf and you can look at it and see the things that you were doing and how you were feeling and the things that you bought and the places that you went, even if it was just to the store and you wrote that down and put in your receipt. Like, it's just showing the little things. That's what I like. I like to show the little things that I do every day, how I'm feeling, all that kind of stuff. And that's all I could think when I saw that video. Like, your journal was beautiful. So what if it wasn't highly decorated? It was beautiful and it was yours and you made it. Anyway, let me know down below. Thanks so much for joining me today, you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.